What's up, guys? I'm Steven.
And I'm Kylie, and when we're looking for a new investment property either for ourselves or for a client, adequate storage is pretty high up there on the requirements list.
Yeah, it may not seem like the most exciting thing, compared to nice views or new finishes in the house, but it's not something that should be overlooked.
Let's go over all things supply closets, what we store in them besides linens and towels and toilet paper, how we keep them organized, and if you stick through to the end, we'll be sharing some creative solutions for houses that might be lacking a little bit in storage space.
There are three main functions of your supply closet. The first is storage, the second is enabling a smooth turnover process, and the third is security.
Storage is the most obvious. It's where you're going to be storing all of your spare linens and towels and all of the supplies that the guests will be using during their stay.
Many of the properties in our portfolio are 3 bedrooms and they sleep 6 guests. So in that supply closet, we have a spare set of sheets, quilts, and warm bed blankets for all 3 beds in the house.
We're also storing 12 spare bath towels because we leave 2 per guest. So we have a full set of spares in the closet. And if the property has a pool, then we also have 6 spare pool towels in the closet as well. And again, these are just example numbers for a 6-person occupancy. You may have more or less depending on the size of your house.
Yeah, and really this all goes to setting up same-day turnovers. You don't want a lost revenue day, at least not to force a lost revenue day in your house because of turnover laundry. So we think it's better to have spares of everything to facilitate a quick same-day turnover.
Then we have guest consumables, which are all of the household items that a guest will use during their stay. These are things like toilet paper, paper towels, soaps and shampoo products, dishwasher tabs, laundry detergent. It's a pretty long list.
We did a whole video on everything that we stock for guests at short-term rentals, and we'll leave a link to that at the end of this video, which you may want to check out.
We also have a free checklist of all of these supplies, plus links to where we source everything, and we'll put instructions on how to access that in the description below.
Our cleaners bring all their own cleaning supplies, so we keep a minimal amount in stock at the house. We'll often leave a pack of cleaning wipes for like little quick touch-ups during our perfection inspections, and we also keep a all-purpose cleaner under the sink for guest use or, again, any other little touch-ups.
We also keep bleach in the supply closets for the cleaners to use. That's not something that we give guests access to.
There's a couple other things that we like to leave. A lint roller. This is nice to have for like spot checks for hairs on beds or couches. And then we also leave spare batteries, light bulbs.
A spare TV remote is also a good idea. These are all just in case items that your cleaner or you can quickly grab during a turnover to replace as needed.
It's better to think ahead about these what if scenarios than to be at the house during a turnover, realize you're missing something, having to run out to the store, back to the house. It's just extra time that you're spending that a little upfront planning, you could avoid that.
Also, if you use a noise monitor like Minute, like we do, don't forget to leave the charging cord in the closet.
Yeah, we also label it with like a little piece of painter's tape and then we hang it on the wall.
Hang it on the wall inside of the closet.
Yeah, inside the closet so everyone knows what it is and knows where it's at.
The best way to ensure a smooth turnover process is to not only have everything that we were just talking about, but to keep it organized and easy to find in your supply closet.
We'll label all the shelves, or sometimes we use like Rubbermaid tubs. We'll label those, sheet sizes. When it comes to quilts, we like to pick a different stitch pattern on the quilts for different bed sizes to help quickly identify those.
So for example, we'll buy like a square stitch pattern for the twin size and the king size, and then maybe we'll buy a cross hatch stitch pattern for the queen size. It just helps with sorting and makes it easier for the cleaners to keep things nice and organized. Make sure to communicate with your cleaner that keeping your supply closet organized is really important to you, and most of the time they realize that it makes their job easier if it stays organized, but it's just good to have everybody be on the same page.
Something that we like to do, even though I don't think it gets used very often, is to create a cleaning manual or sort of a turnover guide that the cleaners can use as a reference when turning over the property.
I think that they're not getting used very often because they're pretty wordy, and most of the time we're working with professional cleaners who know what they're doing and they don't need us to say, oh, scrub the toilet, because they know what to do. So maybe just photos of all of the room would be sufficient.
Yeah, we found that the photos are really good to have because when furniture or decor gets moved around, the cleaners have an idea of where to put it back.
And notice he says when they get moved around and not if they get moved around, because people will move your stuff around. If your cleaner has an iPhone, you can also create like a shared album and share photos that way.
We also use a cleaning scheduling software platform that allows checklists, photo checklists to be put in that app as well. So there's options out there. but some sort of photo reference of how the house should be set is a good thing for your cleaner to have, whether that's, you know, hard copy in your supply closet or on an app.
The last main function of a supply closet is security or limiting guest access to certain items.
We like to stock our properties well with plenty of toilet paper, full soap dispensers, but it also doesn't mean that a guest needs access to our full, you know, Costco brick of toilet paper.
Theft is rare, and usually when we get to a house after a guest is checked out, they've barely made a dent in our supplies. But there are those people that will just clear out everything like it's a Airbnb swag bag or something.
Yeah. There also can be issues if the guest has access to all of your spares. We've only ran into this once where a supply closet got left unlocked and then a guest used every single bath towel and pool towel that we had in the supply closet.
To give you an idea of the amount of towel usage that went on here, this house slept 8 people and we leave 2 towels per guest, so that's 16 bath towels that were already out in the house and an additional 8 pool towels that were already out in the house. So then this guest went and got 16 more bath towels and 8 more pool towels and used every single towel in the house and the supply closet and just left them in a giant mound of dirty towels.
It was crazy. It was only 5 people, I think, staying in the house too. And luckily we were the next ones. It was our Scottsdale property. We happened to be visiting right after this guest. Otherwise, I think our cleaners would have like freaked out when they saw this mountain of towels.
That's 48 towels, guys.
Yeah.
48 towels.
It's a lot. So now we make sure that everything is locked away, and that's with the exception of our Mission Beach properties. They're really small. We don't have good storage there, and that's actually something we need to work on.
Yeah, there's a severe lack of storage inside of the units already without taking away, you know, kitchen cabinets for guest use. Like, they're just really small. And then the garage is also a little bit tight, so putting in big cabinets is just going to impede on guest parking, which is a really big necessity at the beach as well. So it's a tricky situation. It's something that we really have just been trying to brainstorm better ways to do what we're doing.
Yeah, we sometimes have a situation where guests will grab a set of extra sheets or a couple extra towels, but we haven't had the towel disaster like we had at the Scottsdale property.
Yet.
Yet.
We're living on the edge here. Do as we say in this situation and not as we do. But again, this is just this one property with a very tricky lack of storage. If we come up with some great solution, we will let you know.
If your supply closet has like a typical handle on it, we like these electronic locks that we'll link in the description below. Since we're managing 30+ properties, dealing with physical keys is to be avoided at all costs.
Another option that we use sometimes when we're locking off a cabinet is these magnetic childproof locks. You can put them on a kitchen cabinet, laundry cabinet, even a piece of furniture that has a cabinet door.
Yeah, they're simple, they're invisible from the outside. So on the inside, you install this little bit and a little catch, and then this is a magnet. You put that outside the door and it releases this catch, and then the door opens. So
if a guest yanks on it hard enough, these little like sticker pieces will fall off, but there is an option to use little screws as well.
If someone really wants in, they're getting in, but we usually then put like a little label on the outside with our label maker. It says locked, please don't pull.
It's just more of a deterrent than anything. And then we'll hide that magnet key either on the back of the dryer or inside the supply closet or underneath like the sink basin, anything that's magnetic that it can attach out of sight.
The childproof locks are a good option if you don't have like multiple closets and therefore don't want to take one away from guest use to be a supply closet. Or maybe you have cabinets in the laundry room that wouldn't really be used by guests. You can put the magnet locks on those and use some extra overflow storage there.
Bigger locked cabinets in the garage is something that we also use at some properties, and we'll get, like Steven mentioned, Rubbermaid or plastic tubs to put sheets and towels so they don't get dusty on the shelves in the garage. And then if we have only one interior closet and the rest is garage storage, we'll always make sure to put snacks or things that could melt inside. Most of our properties are in desert climates, so if we put, you know, chocolate chip granola bars in the garage, they're going to be a big melty mess.
The joys of living in the desert.
That's probably very unique to our market.
We really try to avoid locking off bedroom closets. You really had to make sure you leave out luggage stands for guests, and also consider some other storage option like a dresser or nightstands with drawers.
And a place to hang.
And a place to hang so your guests can kind of unpack and be comfortable in the room.
We hope you found this information helpful, and if you'd like more detail on all of the supplies and consumables that we leave for guests, be sure to check out this video that we'll link on screen.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.